Okay, now this is my first test comparison with the different combination lights that the TOS is supposed to have. From what I found on the internet, the one on the right side, this one, seems to be looking much nicer than the one on the left, which has more white lights on it. Now, I'm not sure if each nacelle is supposed to have a different pattern or if they're both the same, but I just wanted to show the two that I found side by side and bring it to a vote. So I like this one. It's got a good balance of the colors and the blues and stuff. And when I put the motors on, this thing's going to look fantastic. This one is a little bit too bright for my taste, but that's mostly because it has a lot of whites on it. I'll take the cover off so you can see what I mean. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white lights mixed in with the other colors. This one only has the normal colors, but a good mixture: blue, green, red, orange, and I think it looks better. I don't know. Kind of like both of them. I'm not sure. That's a big conundrum. I'll have to pick one. Maybe I'll just leave them the way they are. One side one way, one side the other way. What do you guys think? Alright, today I started doing some more work on the saucer pylon and the nacelle caps. I'm still working on the saucer top section, also doing the masking for the Aztec painting that I'm going to be doing. So I've got like 3 or 4 projects going on at once to try to accelerate and get this thing built so that I can start wiring and doing the fun part of this build. I wanted to show the front of the paint job and what I did in the back so that you can see how I painted it in black first and then painted it in metallic silver to be able to bounce the light really good. I'm just waiting for the paint to dry and continuing on with building the hangar, and I'm going to show what it looks like coming up next. Before I talk about the parts of the hangar and put them together, I wanted to discuss the TOS bridge. I got an updated version of the TOS bridge, which is more detailed than the one that comes with the polar lights. My only problem is I've been looking out online and there is no instructions as to what are the steps to painting this stuff properly without messing it up. Being that it's so small, I'm just having a tough time figuring out what to mask. Should I paint it by hand? Should I spray paint some parts inside? It's not an easy task. So if any of you guys out there have any tricks or secrets as to how to get this stuff painted without screwing it up, I'd like to hear from you. I mean, this thing is so small, even the camera is having a tough time focusing on it. So now let's go talk about the hangar. Here's the roof part. I think the details came out really nice, very pronounced. When it's all lit up, it's going to look really, really nice. On the walls, I got the walls and the decals, everything nice and neat. I did leave the observation part, which is this part right here, in gold because I wanted it to stick out a little more and show the three-dimension part of it. If I painted him gray, it was just going to be washed out, so I wanted to be a little bit different. I know it's not movie accurate, but I just wanted to make it a little different, make it my own. All in all, I think it came out really nice. Here's the back of the hangar. And I'm hesitant to using the micro sole to really recess those decals on the doors, because on the previous part that I did, I noticed the micro sole just ate away at these decals as they're being so darn small. I'm kind of afraid that the same thing will happen to this one, so I'm just going to leave it with the micro set and not bother with it because I don't think it needs it. I particularly like the overhead door with the ridges and stuff in gold. I think it looks very nice, and again it breaks up the colors of the gray with the back wall and stuff, and it really shows the three-dimension part of it, so I kind of like the way that came out. The shuttle bay, it's all done, and the shuttlecraft, or as I like to call it, the little mosquito, because this thing is so small. I'm surprised I was able to get those decals on there without breaking them, but hey, practice makes perfect, I guess. The back of the shuttlecraft came out really, really nice too. I wanted to put some color in there, but I just couldn't get the paint in there without screwing it up, being that it's so darn small, so I just left it clear. Whoops. There goes the shuttle. So all in all, I think it looks pretty good for being so small. And this thing is tiny. And I keep saying that because I'm just surprised how tiny this is. The next time you see it, it should all be put together and light should be on it. We'll see how it comes out. Still working on the top portion of the saucer section, installing the Aztec masking. I have been at it for about 3 or 4 days, spending 2-3 hours tops, installing 3 or 4 at a time. So far I'm halfway there, got about another 11 sections to install, and then I'll be ready to do the first coat of paint to see how this thing is going to come out. Moving on. Okay, now I managed to get the right colors for the figurines for the TOS 1/350 scale. Here's Captain Kirk and Spock, pointy ears and all. Wasn't easy, but I think they came out pretty good considering the size. I have an update on the nacelles. They're fully painted, and I also painstakingly mask all of the edges where I don't want paint to go so that we can glue this thing together. It's very hard to get these things snapped together without blocking all of these points so that we didn't get any paint on them. And I took the time to go here and mask everything so that when I get ready to apply glue and glue this thing together, it'll have some place to grab onto. So it's my first time taking the masking off. That way I won't have to worry about it not coming together the way it's supposed to when I start gluing this thing. I think the prep time and masking for this thing took longer than the actual paint. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with the way it came out. And here's the first coat of paint. That about concludes the first section of the nacelles and getting ready to start wiring and putting things together. Here's the other half. I did the same thing. I masked everything. Nice and clean connections. Shouldn't have any problems putting this thing together once I get all the wiring done. These corners here especially are very important because this is where all the weight for the pylons and the nacelles are going to be. So we need to be able to get glue on here. And if you have paint there, as everybody knows, it ain't going to come together right. Just gotta take your time, have lots of patience to really go through all of this trouble. But it's the results is well worth the effort. Now when we snap these things together, goes on pretty good. Still got to work the seams. That's going to be the next step. I got a little trick that I'm going to be trying to use. So we'll see how that comes along to hide the seam. I already got part of the nacelle, the Bussards going. And I'm just going to test fit it here. And it's starting to look like something. Still got to do some paint on this part right here. That's it for now.